We'll call the meeting to order. If you'll please stand with me, and we'll have our invocation and pledge of allegiance. Please bow your heads. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you again for this opportunity to come and serve in this capacity as commissioners. I just pray, Lord, that you give each one of us wisdom and guidance as we make direction for this county. Lord, I just ask that you bless each one that's here, those who can't. Father, just again, I ask that you give us wisdom and guidance here tonight. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen. Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And the first order of business is the approval of the agenda. Any changes? Mr. Brock?
Are you moving to fire department?
Yes, but go ahead. Okay. I would like to move forward the area of the Mr. Raymond Love. I'd like to bring that on at the start of the meeting, if I may.
Okay, can I suggest we put it under awards and presentations? That's probably the most appropriate place. That'll be early in the meeting. Okay? Is that all right with everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Any other changes? Ms. Arts?
Yes, I'd like to make a couple brief announcements, and then also under the consent agenda to pull the amended BoCC calendar. That's tab 13.
Tab 13, full for discussion.
And I have a couple discussion items too.
At the end?
Yes.
Okay. Any others, commissioners, or additions or deletions? You have one item to pull, County Administrator?
Yeah, I have one item to pull and one item to table. I'm going to pull number 8. There's no item with it, but it's the grant writing at risk RFQ. And then just for just quick discussion by the board. And then I'm going to pull the general business item, number 19. We're going to table that to the next meeting. We've got some things we're still working out. We're working with Public Works and Utah to get you something to approve.
Okay. So we'll move Mr. Raymond Love under awards and presentations, pull item 8, 13 under consent agenda, and table item 19 till the next meeting. Any other changes?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve by Mr. Merritt with changes, seconded by Mr. Brock. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And the next item is the public hearing.
Commissioners, this is a request approval to conduct a public hearing and consider adopting a proposed comprehensive countywide golf cart community ordinance to include establishing 2 golf cart communities in the Panacea area. Mr. McDermott's going to walk you through the item very briefly, and then we'll proceed right to the public hearing.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening. This is the epitome of other duties as assigned. But I was asked to help shepherd this get through the board and the community of Panacea. And the Waterfronts group had approached the community traffic safety team for the implementation of golf cart declaration ordinance, which we've then, with county attorney, the Waterfronts group, have brought to you. This is our public hearing. We do have a number of folks from Panacea here to speak if there are any questions to be had. Basically, what the directions we received were, Shell Point already had designated golf cart community. There was already an ordinance in place for that. We took that ordinance, added in the Panacea declaration, which is the naming of all the names, and we have 2 requests that are going forward to DOT to request crossings across 98. In the initial draft, we have requested the designation of every road within the Panacea community with the exception of Highway 98, which of course is a state highway and not ours as a county to designate. All of the other roads have the appropriate speed limits and have been included in the ordinance. There are no significant changes to what Shell Point knows as the status quo. but we did update some of the requirements. We stuck with the license age of 14, and we added some lights and other things if you want to operate at night. The ordinance is there for review. We also have a list of all the roads, and there's a map in front of you that was created by the Waterfronts Group for visual aid, and I'll leave it at that.
Move to conduct a public hearing and adopt the comprehensive countywide golf cart community ordinance to include establishing 2 golf cart communities in the Panacea area.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Broughton, seconded by Mr. Merritt. Any citizens to be heard? Jack Burton?
My name is, can you hear me all right? My name is Jack Burton, and I live on Bottoms Road. And on that road, there's one commissioner, a Wakulla commissioner, and 5 or 6 other people, most of whom have golf carts. I go twice a week to the beach with my dog. It gives me a little respite during the day. And I wave to the sheriffs, but I get stopped sometimes by wildlife people. They have stopped me a couple times. But I still go, and I want to make it legal. And my dog likes it, I like it, and I'm in favor of the golf cart community. And that's about it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Jack. Shree Miller?
Sheree Miller. I'm with the Panacea Waterfronts program, and this was a project that we had citizens come to our meeting and ask us, and it's been 3 years that we've been working on this project. And tonight we have some citizens to speak to move things forward, and I'd like to thank the administration and staff for all their support and help in getting this ordinance. So they'll be speaking.
Okay. Michelle Baggett?
My name is Michelle Baggett, and I live on Bottoms Road also. I'm thankful to see Mr. Burton on his golf cart. I'm a runner, and I run on that road 5 to 6 days a week, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoons. So I would probably consider myself an expert on Bottoms Road. I've run up to 20 miles at one time on that road, so I can tell you who drives on it, how fast they drive, how many bird watchers we have on that road, how many days that they come. I can pretty much tell you anything that you would like to know about Bottoms Road. There's 7 golf cart owners, I believe, on the road. I'm one. My parents are one. My dad's Mike Falk. He's my neighbor. My family uses the golf carts to help me when I train for marathons. You know, when I'm running a 20-mile run, they're following me. You know, they're courteous. Mr. Burton is another set of eyes on me that's watching me, as far as, you know, other family members and friends on Bottoms Road. As far as, you know, the speed limits, and, you know, and I don't know if I'm allowed to ask you questions or to address you, but, you know, I know one of the concerns is lowering the speed limit on Bottoms Road. I'm going to tell you, based on the amount of hours that I'm on there, the people that are going to drive the speed limit are going to drive the speed limit no matter what it is on that road. The ones that are driving 65 and 70 are going to drive that also. I mean, I've been almost run off the road while I was running on that road before. And they're going to drive that speed limit regardless of what you post it, because I've noticed that from experience. The fishermen, they know what time I run, when I run. They're watching out for me. They're actually watching out for me from their boats now, because they feel like they have a reason to protect me. And that's what these guys do too. You know, these people are always on that road. They're always watching me. And I have 2 small children that I like to drive on that road also. and we go down and we crab, and we watch the dolphin school up fish. And I grew up on Bottoms Road, lived there for 36 years. I could ride my bicycle down there and throw cast nets, and I want to be able to do the same thing with my children. And on Mother's Day, I got pulled over with my 2 children, and at the corner of Bottoms, right across where Mr. Moore lives, actually, by FWC, and as he was scolding me and getting on to me, a truck blew by going probably about 65 miles an hour. And that is a concern for me. But I've talked to a lot of the fishermen, and the answer that I'm getting from them, I asked, do you guys have a problem with us having our golf carts? And they say, no, we signed the petition. We don't mind. Is that enough time?
Yes,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Mark Mitchell.
How you doing? I'm Mark Mitchell. I live at 18 Heron Drive in Panacea, and I think we're all saying about the same thing, and I'm not even sure we need to be saying it. I don't know that we have any objections to this. Everybody wants it in our community. It's a great little waterfront community, and I don't think there's any reason in the world we shouldn't be able to use our golf carts. Thank you.
Really good. Paige Killeen.
Paige Killeen. I am a member of the Waterfronts community and also a proud community resident of Panacea. The designation of Panacea as a golf cart community is about the community as a whole. If you do not live in Panacea, you're not aware of how many people depend on golf carts for their only means of transportation other than walking. For the elderly or disabled, walking is out of the question, so a golf cart as a means of transportation makes a great deal of sense. And as an added bonus, it's also economical. People who live in Panacea see golf cart use on a daily basis. We began this process about 3 years ago, long before we realized just how important this golf cart community was. As time has gone on, it has proven to be a very important part of Panacea, simply because from Bottom Road to Tower Road is a very walkable community. So if it's walkable, it should be golf cartable, for lack of a better word. The idea to request this came from citizens in Panacea, and they went to the Waterfronts Community Committee. So as a committee and as a resident, I wish to request this, and thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Paige. Ronald Fred Crum.
Thank you. My name's Ronald Crum, 162 Tower Road. I don't know what I could add to what's already said, but Appalachia has a golf cart community. So I talked with the people over there fishing, fishing community. They like it. They don't have a problem with it. They cross 98. Don't have a problem with that. One thing I think it will help is right north of my store, there down Otter Lake Road, it's a retirement home, and these people have these little electric carts. I can tell you, this will help them. This will keep them from getting run over by having more recognition that people, with alternate transportation are there. And I've polled most of the fishermen, and yes, a little bit reduced speed limit over there, but I had none of them tell me that they had a problem with it. I mean, I don't know anybody that has a problem with it. But the positive effect would be, I think, the safety of those retired people on those little battery-operated carts, because they are going to get hit if something's not done. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any more discussion about the board?
I got one question for Scott real quick. When I drove by Bottoms Road the other day, the speed limit was 45. What is that going to be reduced to now?
35.
Is it in that ordinance?
I thought
The ordinance says 20 to 25, but earlier in the ordinance...
Two acceptance.
Right.
I think it's 35.
Yeah, I see where it says that in section 1, but I thought it said later. I just want to know if it's 35, it's 35, if it's 25, it's 25. Just want to know what it was going to be.
And I should have that memorized, but there is in the statutes a limit to the maximum speed limit on a road that it can be, and I don't remember if that's 35 or 45.
It's 35.
35, so it will have to be at that as a maximum for it to be designated. And there was the signs, the flags are in the ordinance. This is an example of that. Shell Point came to our meeting and said that they actually sold these flags, had them made, and used those dollars to fund the signs that went up in the community. In this ordinance, it does provide for inspections and a certification sticker that would be done by the Sheriff's Department, which would assure that it's in the mechanical condition. I did make an error earlier in that we did put in the sunrise, because we had long discussions about headlights, taillights, brake lights, and pricing this out of reality. So I see we did end up putting it sunrise to sunset and eliminating those extra expenditures from the requirements.
Now, the only reason I asked this, I guess, is in the earlier agenda text body. I know what the ordinance says, but it says, and I'll quote, on October 6, 2010, Captain William Jones sent a letter on behalf of CTST, which also requested that the speed limits be lowered to 20 to 25 miles in this area. But that doesn't apply to Bottoms Road. I guess that's where my confusion came in.
Take it to the maximum that the statute allows it to be at.
You can go to lower than
Now,
that.
35 is
below
fine.
that.
I just wanted to definitively know what it was going to be.
And we need that from them to lower it right to 35 or...
You're not getting that in this, are you? That will come back.
Yes, sir. Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Arts had the next. Go ahead, Ms. Arts.
Okay, first I want everybody to know I'm very enthusiastic and supportive of Panacea becoming a golf cart community, so anything I say doesn't negate that. I just had a couple concerns or questions, I guess, that I wanted to raise. I do have some safety concerns, and what I'd really like to see, and I would encourage the waterfronts community to do, is look and see if you have any roads that you could make no longer driving roads, that they just be pedestrian, bicycles, golf carts, rascal scooters, those kind of things, because that would be the safest for all of those categories of people than having cars also using those roads. So if as a waterfronts community you can find places like the IGA, the former IGA parking lot, where people can leave their cars and then do more walking or riding bikes or whatever in that area, I just think that would be wonderful, and I would encourage you to do it. It doesn't mean I don't support the golf carts. I just would like to see some of those roads not have both cars and golf carts or cyclists. I was a little concerned. There's an initial inspection that costs $50, and then an annual inspection that has to be done, and that, we don't require that for cars. and it just seemed, even if we do an initial inspection, it wasn't clear to me that an annual inspection was needed.
And I don't want to speak for the sheriff. Billy, I know Captain Jones was going to be here to speak to this. I know, and I will say this, that the sheriff has been very agreeable to the adjustment of those rates to cover the actual cost of the inspection. So those were initial numbers that were put on for the purpose of discussion. So I don't want you to think that that's the last assertion by the sheriff, because he was quite agreeable to discussion about those rates and the reoccurrence of those.
And I hope the frequency will be looked at closely, because if, why inspect every year if every 5 years or something like that is fine, or even every 2? And then I also hope the inspections will be offered in the community so that people don't have to, okay, that's good. I have some concerns about 14-year-olds driving. I know our attorney recommended 16. But I also wanted to know, I don't even know if it's possible to put seat belts on a golf cart, but as a parent who's trying to get a child to be used to buckling up, to have them, like, not have to in a golf cart, but yes, in a car or whatever. I don't know, that's just something I would throw out. If they're possible, I'd like to see that encouraged.
I know that
And everything else, flags and lights and everything.
Yeah, well, there's no lights. That was to get them to go at night. We took the 14 years old from the statute, and I will have to defer to the attorney. I believe we can make it more stringent, not less stringent kind of concept. But we'll take it back to the group.
I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I wouldn't put her out on a golf cart.
Not on a road that cars are also on.
And that,
you know.
Well, that doesn't mean that's a personal choice, of course. I'm not saying whatever, but
Just makes, you know, the first child that gets injured or killed or whatever, it's going to be horrible. So,
I guess
just a couple caveats. I mean,
there are.
We talked about you talked about the fees, the $50 for the initial inspection and the $25 for the annual inspection. And I appreciate that those numbers may be able to be decreased, but this ordinance is going to establish those inspection requirements and those amounts. So if we go tonight, I mean, we change them, we're going to be coming back for an ordinance amendment, just let you know.
I want to get it done tonight, but let's keep talking. I agree with you, Lynn, that I think $50 is too much.
If you'd like me to carry back a number, I'll be glad to.
No, I want to try to get it done tonight. I mean, this thing's been hanging around a long time. I think we can fix it tonight, but Jerry, you had some comments.
One of the things, of course, I live on Bottoms, and I'm very interested in this. It gives me a way of, we have a citizens community there, and we have adopted that road, and Mr. Jack, he says he goes down twice a week. I think he goes down 4 times a day. Twice a day. Jack's on that road for the last 5 years. He has a trash can on the back of his golf cart. He cleans that road. Jack, nobody else has to clean the road. Jack does it. Any particular day, there'll be any particular part of any day, there'll be 1 to 3 to 4 bird watching cars. On any particular day, there'll be cast netters thrown off the bridge halfway down the road. On any particular day, half the cars down that road will be driving at 2, 3, 4 miles an hour. It's a scenic, it's probably, other than the Lighthouse Road, there's probably another road in this county that's as pretty as that road. So the automobiles go extremely slow already. Now, some do not, and they're not going to go slow when there's a draw. From the standpoint of speed, the difference between driving that road at 45 and 35 is 1 minute. It's a short road. The difference between 45 and 25 is 2 minutes. So if you put a 25 mile an hour limit on there, it's going to take 2 more minutes to get to the end of the road. If the speed limit is 35, it's going to take them 1 more minute.
I just wanted to know what it was.
It's 5 minutes driving at 25, it's 4 minutes at 35, and it's 3 minutes at 25. So it's 1-2 minutes.
Okay. Alan?
I was just going to say, I know there's discussion going on about the cost, but if the citizens who came tonight have been working on this before and were already okay with that, no, okay, never mind.
I mean, do you all feel like that's high?
I think it is.
And I agree.
Okay.
Ms. Hart, since you brought it up, what do you suggest we make that amount? I mean, it needs to be some fee because it's going to take some administrative time to do it, and the sheriff's department's willing to do it, but I don't think it needs to be $50.
I think if they could be grouped together, maybe where everybody go to the parking lot, you know, where you don't have to do each individual. Like $20 for an inspection, I don't know.
They're out calling the sheriff now.
Okay, would you $20 initial fee and an annual fee of $20 or $10 or?
I'd be willing to pay $20 to be able to drive my golf cart around.
I mean, we argued this, discussed it at the CTSD meeting, and the point was made about the safety issues is that, and what can happen is people can take these golf carts and put all kind of big motors in them, and believe it or not, and they do this, and you don't have a golf cart anymore. You have a hot rod that's running up and down the road. Not that anybody would do that in Panacea, but anyway,
We just
If
got
that
word.
happens, then we got to do something about it, and we want golf carts, safe vehicles to be able to drive up and down the roads, and I'm fine making it, if that's okay, we can change it tonight, can't we, make it $25? Does it need to go back and be re-advertised? Is that,
No, you can change it we can amend it from the floor.
okay, is that,
Say a $10 annual, $25 start,
okay? I hear 25 and 10?
Hold on.
The sheriff just called back, said 35 every 2 years.
And then do it every 2 years. Okay?
That's fine.
That answers your other issue. Okay.
That's better.
Is that,
Fine with me.
is that something we can make a change now and make it $35 and do it every 2 years?
So there's, the initial fee is 35, and then it's the same amount every 2 years.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Okay? Now, the issue of the age,
I noticed that it has to be accompanied by a licensed driver. I would let my 14-year-old go with my 16-year-old and drive the golf cart, but not her by herself.
I agree,
I
I
would
think,
with a parent, but not with a...
I don't like 16-year-olds driving cars, much less 14-year-olds driving golf carts, but anyway,
Can I?
go ahead.
Just a point of caution. Shell Point's had golf court ordinances in effect for a while. These apply to them as well.
Right.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
What age did they let people drive over there?
14 is in the statute.
With a licensed driver.
14.
It doesn't even say, it says, what the statute says is a golf cart may not be operated on public roads or streets by any person under the age of 14. A local government may enact more stringent, more restrictive requirements.
And I'm fine with what we have, being accompanied by a licensed driver. That,
I agree, because
allays
if
my
you let a
concerns.
14, it's hard to establish the age of a 14-year-old because they don't have any kind of identification. If you just let them out driving by
That's right.
themselves, you stop them, how old do you know they are? Let me see your ID, I don't have one.
They could be 10, but say they're 14.
And they're going to be crying, peeing in their pants to start with if a policeman stops them and
The way we had initially drafted it was that they had to be they had to have a driver's license to operate the golf cart. But you can go to, what you're doing and what is presented in this ordinance is allowable.
okay. Alan?
Scott,
Yes,
with our
sir.
current ordinance, is there already a fee associated with and licensing for the golf carts in Shell Point and St. Mark's?
The current one is, there is no inspections currently. The requirement is the flag. And that's what they put out money for, is the flag.
Okay.
And we're still
And I
working
think
with,
these were, yeah.
and CTSD is still working with DOT to get the designated crossing areas on 98. We've asked for two, one on the, well, it's not the north end, but it would be the east end and the west end of 98 of the town of Panacea, if you will. So there will be safe places to do that. They'll be designated and signage put up so folks can cross. And they've rogered for that being okay.
Gerbaloo and Otterley Lake.
Right. Okay? So, Attorney, you got the changes, and we can
I
make
have
those
them.
changes, and it'd be all right tonight to go ahead and approve?
Provided,
There may be one more comment coming from the citizens here. I can't tell. I can't read lips that well.
You need to come on up here.
I tried.
We need to make it a matter of record. That's why we ask you to come up. That's okay.
It's just something I thought about.
Tell us who you are and your address, please.
Eloise Crum, 162 Tower Road, Panacea. I was thinking, you know, a lot of this was brought up because of the wheelchair, the people riding the wheelchairs from the park to Panacea up to the dollar store and across the highway to the IGA. Now, are they in this loop with the golf carts, or is it completely separate? They don't need inspections?
Now, they stand alone. That's not anything to do with this, Miss Eloise. In fact, CTSD's been working on diligently trying to get some sidewalks put in and some special crossings for those folks.
Right, at least we will get a crossing for them. That'll help.
I would think they'd be considered pedestrians.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. And before we get off the subject, I'm going to vote to support this, but I'm trying to word this the best way. The numbers switched a couple times here tonight from the cost and how often we're doing inspections, which makes them appear a little arbitrary. And I don't know, is there any logic behind when and how often we need inspections, or?
Well, this was it's something done in other areas. This is a new area for
Yeah.
our county. So it includes buying the stickers. It includes the time and the administrative time to have the either deputy go out and do the inspections on site or otherwise.
Are you suggesting that we don't need to inspect them?
No, I'm not suggesting that. I don't know. I just, for future reference, because I still get the impression that most of the citizens support what we're doing and we've come up with a price. Having logic behind, like if we're using other models, like in other communities, they do it every 3 years, every 2 years, every 1 year, and they charge this fee, stuff like that we can reference, versus, well, we're going to charge 50, or we're going to charge 25, and we're going to charge whatever the numbers were.
And I apologize for that. We sat down and talked about the items required, and I wasn't involved in the creation of the dollar amounts.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to support this, but my preference really would be for it to be 16 or an older or a licensed driver, especially if they're on roads with cars, because they need to know all the rules of the roads, and they wouldn't have even have had, some of that training yet, even though there's a licensed driver with them.
I'm fine with 16 too, if the board wants to make it 16. Is that what the committee? Is the Waterfronts Committee, how they feel about that?
I think their issue is Shell Point's already been allowed.
Well, whatever we make it's going to be for the county. Okay. If we make it 16, that's what it's going to be for the county, not for Panacea. It's for the county. So I'll support whatever y'all want to do. Tell me.
I'm fine with that. I mean, I got children.
It's 16?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
fine with that. I don't see any compelling reason why a 14-year-old...
So it's a licensed driver, not just 16. They 16 and they have to have their license.
Yes.
I don't think that's too far out of the realm. Be good training.
Well, let's try to get past this.
My name is Barbara Gardner. I live at 40 Sandpiper Drive. But I have a question on why they need to be inspected in Panacea if there's not an inspection required in Shell Point.
There will be.
There will be.
So that'll be countywide then?
Yes, ma'am. This ordinance will change all the rules now. It'll be new rules. Everybody's got to apply and be approved. And anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all gonna keep on? You're gonna talk me out of voting for it?
The inspection price was not set by the committee.
Okay.
Set by the sheriff's department.
I understand. I understand. We're not gonna blame you. You can blame me. Okay. Any other comments? All for the motion?
One second. I'm sorry. Are we a licensed driver? Is that where it ended up?
Yeah,
Okay.
Alan's motion, so it's up to him.
The motion needs to be changed.
All right. I'll consider all amendments friendly. So
16 and licensed, $35 every 2 years.
Right.
Okay?
Well, yeah. You just want to go with have a valid driver's license?
Yeah.
That's how I'll write it.
Yeah.
Thanks for hearing that.
Yeah, that, and then, with a learning permit, they can learn to drive on the driver's. It doesn't
That's
matter.
true.
We're going through.
That's true. That's a good point, yeah.
I'll modify my second then.
Okay. Now any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Way to go, Jack.
Okay, let's move on here. Awards and presentations. Now, we'll stop here for a minute. If you're just here for that and you want to depart, you're welcome to do that right now. We'll wait like 30 seconds for you to clear out, because I got a feeling some of you were just here for that item. Thank you.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes, thank you.
Here's my golf cart.
Yay, legally.
Okay, now we'll carry on with the awards and presentations. And the first is the introduction of our KWCB new executive director, Miss Joanne Palmer. Bruce Ashley, you going to do that?
I am. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, fellow citizens of our county, it's my pleasure to come here today. If you get the Wakulla News, you read last week a nice long article about the Keep Wakulla County Beautiful new executive director, Miss Joanne Palmer, and a nice story in the paper about her. but I'm here to introduce her to the community and to you, the commission. Joanne has a lot of strong credentials that comes to our organization. She's been very active in the community. She has additional family roots in our community, and we think she's going to be a tremendous asset to an organization that's been here for many years now and has contributed greatly to our community. We have the Adopt a Highway program. We have the Hazardous Waste Day coming up on April 16th, where folks can bring the stuff that they don't want to keep around their house. We've got the signage at the county line on 319 that we erected as an organization. With coastal cleanup, a lot of good things come from our organization, and we're very pleased and very happy that we have found Joanne willing to serve and come to our organization. She's currently working with the Chamber on event planning, has a strong background in grant writing and event coordination, and so we're very fortunate that she was looking for some ways to spend some time in the betterment of our community, and so happy to introduce Joanne Palmer to the community and see if she wants to make just a few remarks.
Thank you. I just want to thank the Commission for supporting us, and I look forward to working with everybody, and we have those couple of events that are definitely needing volunteers. So we meet on Thursday night, the first Thursday of every month at 6:30 at the Sheriff's Department. So feel free to come and see what's going on and give us some suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And next is the presentation by SWAT students regarding candy-flavored tobacco. Ms. Tanya Hobby.
Good evening, everyone. I am Tanya Hobby with the Tobacco Prevention Program at the Wakulla County Health Department. These are my SWAT youth behind me, and they're going to introduce each one of them.
Hi, my name is Nicholas, and I'm from River Springs Middle.
My name is Madison, and I am from Wakulla Middle School. My name is Ashlyn, and I'm from Wakulla Middle School.
Each one of them will be presenting tonight. We will be talking to you about the sweet seduction. We are here today to talk to you about an addiction, but it's not the addiction you think I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about the addiction of money. Almost 90% of tobacco users begin before the age of 18.
Kids are important to all tobacco companies, and that is especially true for Philip Morris. Philip Morris is the #1 teen brand. It is important for them to maintain this position. Smokers tend to be very brand loyal, so if they lose kids to another company, they've lost a lifetime customer. Market share is an extremely important component of tobacco advertising strategy. Marlboro is way out in the lead. They can afford to pull back on their advertisement and portray the image of the responsible company. The avenues of advertising are getting smaller and smaller due to the work of anti-tobacco advocates. If advertising ends while Marlboro is way ahead, they know that they will continue to stay on top. If RJR and other competitors want to compete, they are willing to take the risk and push the envelope, which often means blatantly targeting kids. Marlboro wants the kids just as badly, but they know their position as market leader will ensure a steady string of new customers through the role modeling and of other users, the majority of which use their products, and through more subtle means like product placement and new media. This was an extremely effective campaign Despite the company's insistence that this campaign was intended for adults, the results of the campaign tell the real story. Camel's share of youth market tripled during this campaign. Their share of the adult market did not increase at all. The Master Settlement Agreement that stopped the use of cartoon advertisement in 1999, so they had to find another strategy. Though they did try to get away with cartoon advertising again recently with The Farm and Rolling Stone. All of these products have been on the market within the last 48 months. Many are currently available on your street corner. The blunt wraps are cigar-like tubes made of flavored tobacco leaves that can be stuffed with loose leaf or marijuana. The skull flavors in cigars can be found in any convenience store.
At the corner convenience stores, the cigarettes are an issue, but even more prevalent are flavored cigars or cigarillos and other products. We have seen a steady climb in cigar use among Florida teens in the last several years, and we suspect that the flavored products are part of this increased demand. In addition, these products are sold as loosies or individual cigars, which can be purchased very cheap. And cigars in Florida have no state tax and a very minimum federal tax, making this cheap alternative for the kid who does not have a lot of money. This is an actual document from the U.S. Tobacco, number 1 in spit. In this document, they will try to determine how to make the use of spit tobacco easier for new users. Think kids. There were 3 problems that new users experienced that they needed to overcome. This is how they overcome these products. Harshness problem. Lower the nicotine levels. Float. The paper is like a tea bag that contains the product and keeps it from moving around and getting stuck in tea. Taste. The lower nicotine product may not burn, but it still tastes bad or unfamiliar to a kid. We are not just guessing that it targets kids. The industry is very smart about how they spend their money, and they will spend it to have the effect that they want. Those results show the desired effect.
Again, the proof is in the results. The younger the people are, the more likely they are to use these products. It is easy to see an age difference here. Regular smokers are not likely to switch their brand to one that has mint or mocha as the industry will suggest. This is Sweet Deception's plan. As smoke-free air laws and cigarette advertising marketing restrictions grow throughout the country, the big tobacco companies are expanding into other products by acquiring cigar and smokeless companies. This is smokeless tobacco. Flavor is the future of tobacco. If we stop flavored tobacco now, we will put a serious dent in the new product of development schemes. These products are not advertised as safe alternatives, as the industry claims. Instead, they're advertised as bridge products that are intended for dual use. You do not use these products instead of smoking Camels. You do this when circumstances will not allow you to smoke, but need your nicotine fix.
We would like to thank y'all for your time and for your consideration of our resolution request. Here is a basket of candy-flavored tobacco and some candy that resembles tobacco.
I hope you're not giving this to me.
And that was all bought here in Wakulla County. Thank you.
Hope everybody had their VCR on at home to record it.
Thank y'all very much.
While they're passing this around, for the benefit of these young people that did that, when I was in school, the cigarette companies would be at the cafeteria and they would give you little packs of 4 cigarettes. Everybody who came into the cafeteria, they would give you 4 cigarettes. They'd give you little packs. And they did that, I understand, in the military. So they were just passing out cigarettes right and left. Fortunately, they don't do that anymore.
Yes, I want to thank the presenters. That was a wonderful and very informative presentation. You did a great job. And I'm really, you all are really smart because you see the ways that tobacco companies are trying to lure young people into smoking. And I hope you're spreading that word among other people in your schools. And I mean, I wish, I don't know if it's part of your program to go to all the places that are selling this and ask them please not to carry it, for the sake of the kids in Wakulla County. Thank you again.
Yes, thank y'all. Let's give them a hand. Okay. Next, under awards and presentation is the, Mr. Moore, we'll let you deal with this with Mr. Raymond Love.
We mourned the loss of Mr. Love, but we were all benefited because he passed our way. He was so important to Wakulla County and to even Leon County, and he had so many friends here in town. At the funeral, they couldn't find a place to park. And when you have that many friends, you've made an impression on the people. So if is Mr. Love's daughter here tonight? Yes.
Chief Love's wife had to go to the hospital today. That's part of my care.
Would you come stand in their behalf, and actually with the volunteer firefighters? Would all of y'all come around, and everybody who's associated with Mr. Love, would you come stand and I'll read this proclamation?
Yeah, all of our county firefighters,
yes,
please.
Everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Please excuse me. All firefighters, if you would, please. I'll read this proclamation. It's a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Wakulla County endorsing naming the Wakulla County Fire Training Grounds to the Chief Raymond E. Love Fire Training Grounds and providing an effective date. Whereas Mr. Raymond E. Love moved to Wakulla County in 1976 and made many contributions for the safety and welfare for the citizens of Wakulla County until his death March 22, 2011. And whereas Chief Raymond E. Love, along with the assistance of Sheriff David F. Harvey and other volunteer firefighters, founded the fire training facility located at 2 Oak Street, Crawfordville, Florida. And whereas Chief Raymond E. Love, while here assisted in the implementation of the MSBU fund in August 1985, as well as the enhanced 911 system, which turned on June 2nd, 1994. And whereas Chief Raymond E. Love gave more than 35 years of dedicated service to the cause of fire prevention and the advancement of the volunteer fire departments of Wakulla County, and whereas Chief Raymond E. Love was a man of dedicated service to Wakulla County and all the surrounding counties, and who made a lasting imprint, and whereas Wakulla County acknowledges and will be forever grateful for the contributions made to the county by Chief Raymond E. Love. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Wakulla County, Florida, that Section 1 recitals, the above recitals are true and correct and are hereby incorporated herein by reference. The Board endorses naming the fire training grounds at number 2 Oak Street, Crawfordville, Florida, in honor of Chief Raymond E. Love. Effective date, this resolution will become effective on April 4th, 2011. And we want to thank Mr. Love, his family, all of his friends for all the contributions that he made. Thank you.
Need a motion to approve. the renaming.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Brock, seconded by Ms. Arts. Any more discussion? Bill Russell, you had a card that you need to speak? You're welcome to.
County Fire Chief.
Come on up here so we can make it a matter of record, please.
Yes, sir. The county fire chief and I wanted to, as me as president of Wakulla and him as the leader of the pay department, just wanted to show our joint support of this idea.
Thank you.
That's correct. Yeah,
Thank you.
No question about Mr. Love's service to the county, so.
Absolutely.
Full idea.
You know, it was just recently that we recognized Mr. Love up here at a board meeting, and he, you know, it seems like he ought to be standing here today. He's just like he's always been a fixture in so many meetings and things that's gone on here in the county. We certainly are going to miss him, and I think this is a wonderful thing we're doing here. But thank you for your support. All right, any more discussion, Ms. Arts?
Yes, I wanted to thank Commissioner Moore for putting this item on the agenda. And when I saw it, I just contacted a number of volunteer fire chiefs and firefighters that I knew just to see what the reaction was and make sure there was broad support for it. And it was unanimous. Everybody I talked to communicated with, supported it. And but they did want me to mention that, you know, that they appreciated my seeking their opinion on it. So.
Okay.
I assume it probably goes without saying, but when we unveil the sign, there'll be a ceremony, and we'll be able to recognize the family and friends. And
Absolutely.
Okay. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Moving along, consent agenda.
I had one announcement.
Oh, I'm sorry, you did. I apologize. Go ahead, Ms. Hart.
Yes, we're in the middle of Wild About Wakulla Week, so I hope everybody is participating in those activities. This coming Saturday is the annual Worm Grunting Festival in Sopchoppy, which is always a lot of fun. And it's also when the Irish Garden Club has its annual plant sale. And that's the way the Irish Garden Club raises scholarship money to send youth to camps. So please go to the Worm Grunting Festival and look for the Irish Garden Club plant sale tent.
Okay. Okay, now consent agenda. We need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve consent agenda?
with the one item, you pulled something, right, Commissioner Arts?
Pulled in the agenda.
Yes, we have two items
We
that
have
were
8
pulled.
and 13 pulled, so the remainder to be approved. A second?
Correct.
Second by Mr. Brock. Any discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll talk about item 8 now.
Commissioners?
Sorry, you just pulled it. Did you want to talk about it?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay,
I
go
just want to
ahead.
give you an update. There wasn't an item included in the packet, obviously. We had released a grant writing at-risk RFQ a few weeks ago. When we got we didn't get any responses back. So what I wanted to pull this just to request that we re-advertise it, maybe broaden the scope a little bit more of the net, try to capture some. I know Commissioner Arts has a few individuals that weren't notified of the release, so I just want to get you okay to re-advertise it and reissue it. So we can,
Sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned.
absolutely. Okay, that was it.
Okay. Ms. Hart's item 13.
Okay, item 13 is an amended 2011 BoCC calendar that now includes 5 staff furlough days. And I want everybody in the community know that there are going to be 5 days between now and September when our county offices will be closed because staff is getting the day off without pay. And that includes the commissioners aren't getting paid, will be available. But anyway, the first of those furlough days is Monday, April 25th. And that's the only one I'm going to announce now because it's the closest. But Monday, April 25th, our offices will be closed, just so you plan ahead. After that, it's all Fridays. And just to be prepared, it's usually around a holiday weekend. Like if the Monday's a holiday, the Friday before, that Monday would also be closed. So anyway, and I know this is a hardship on staff, and I appreciate everybody, doing their part to help us build up our budget savings and improve our audit report. And hopefully we won't have to have all 5 of these if we can hold down air conditioning costs and find other ways to save money. And I encourage our constitutional officers also to look at doing something similar to bring our budget, to cut our budget for this year.
Ms. Arts, I'd like to add to that if I could. No constitutionals are participating in this, is that correct? So you'll still be able to go pay your taxes on this day, you'll still be able to get your driver's license?
Yes, courts will be open, law enforcement will be...
Courts will be open, the fire department's open, of course. This is only for Florida County Commissioner,
Planning,
employees,
permit,
planning,
building inspection.
The building department's probably going to affect the most people. But
Well, yeah, public safety is exempted. Fire and EMS will be on, so...
The library will be closed.
So I move to approve the amended 2011 BoCC calendar to include the 5 staff furlough days shown.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Arts,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Merritt. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. We'll move into planning and zoning.
Okay, good evening, Commissioners. Items 15 through 18 are all related but separate small-scale comprehensive plan map amendment requests. Item 15 this evening is an application for a comprehensive plan map amendment CP 10-02. Mark and Lynn Heinrichs with Bruce Weiner as the agent. This request is, again, a small-scale map amendment request to change from the agriculture future land use designation to rural 1. And this is on a property located just south of 221 Tiger Hammock Road. This is the paved portion of Tiger Hammock, and the subject property is highlighted on the map in front of the board. Just for the record, Commissioners, all of these items were advertised, and the advertising date was February 24th, 2011 in the Wakulla News. And these items were reviewed at Technical Review Committee back on November 18th of 2010. Planning Commission did consider this item at their March 14th, 2011 public hearing, and signage was posted on the property as shown in the photo on the screen in front of you. Planning Commission did recommend unanimously to approve Comprehensive Plan Map Amendment CP 10-02.
Mr. Chairman,
You make the motion.
motion appropriate. I'd like to conduct the second of 2 public hearings and vote to adopt the proposed ordinance amending the comp plan future land use map, amending the future land use map designation from agriculture land use to rural 1 land use based upon the Planning Commission's recommendations and the finding of facts and conclusions of law made by the board and any evidence submitted at the hearing hereon.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Merritt to approve, second by Mr. Brock. Have any citizens to be heard? None?
Mr. Chairman, can we go ahead and move the remainder of the staff report into the record then, just so that we do have something?
Okay.
And I note that the applicant and their agent is here. I don't know if you have anything you'd like to add, but nope.
Okay. Any more discussion by the board? We're taking one at a time. We're going to deal with each one. Okay. All right, any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, Commissioners, the next item is a Comprehensive Plan Map Amendment CP 10-03. This request is also from agriculture land use designation to rural 1. This item was heard by Planning Commission back on March 14th, 2011. No citizens spoke regarding this application, and the Planning Commission did vote unanimously to recommend approval. For the record, this item was advertised in the Wakulla News on February 24th, 2011. and signage was posted on the property. Again, this parcel is located adjacent to the prior piece of property, and it is on the paved portion of Tiger Hammock Road.
I'd like to make a motion to conduct the second of 2 public hearings and vote to adopt the proposed ordinance amending the comprehensive future land use map, amending the future land use map designation from agricultural land use to rural 1 land use based upon the Planning Commission's recommendations and the findings of facts and conclusions of law made by the board and any evidence submitted at the hearing hereon, and to also adopt the staff report into the public record.
Okay, motion by Mr. Merritt,
Second.
second by Mr. Brock. Any more discussion? No citizens to be heard? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll be making the same motion.
Okay, item 17 this evening is application for comprehensive plan map amendment CP 10-04. Richard Boyd Winchester Jr. is the owner of the property with Bruce Weiner as the agent. This request is also to make a land use change from agriculture to rural 1. The Planning Commission did consider this item at their March 14th, 2011 public hearing and voted unanimously to recommend approval to the board. I would note again, this item was advertised in the Wakulla News on February 24th, 2011, and appropriate signage was placed on the property.
Make a motion to conduct the second of 2 public hearings and vote to adopt the proposed ordinance. I should have this memorized. Amending the comprehensive plan future land use map, amending the future land use map designation from agricultural land use to rural 1 land use based upon the Planning Commission's recommendations and findings of facts and conclusions of law made by the board and any evidence submitted at the hearing hereon, and also to adopt the staff report as a matter of public record.
Okay.
Second.
And seconded by Mr. Brock. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, item 18 this evening is an application for comprehensive plan map amendment CP 10-05. John and Sunny Chansey are the owners of this property. It is another request to change the future land use designation from agriculture to rural 1. This property is located just south of 221 Tiger Hammock Road and across from 260 Tiger Hammock Road. Planning Commission did consider this item back on March 14th, 2011 and voted unanimously to recommend approval of this application. Should be noted the advertisement appeared in the Wakulla News on February 24th, 2011, and appropriate signage was placed on the property to notify the public of this map amendment request.
I'd like to make a motion to conduct the second of 2 public hearings and vote to adopt the proposed ordinance amending the comprehensive plan future land use map, amending the future land use map designation from agricultural land use to rural 1 land use based upon the Planning Commission's recommendations and the findings of fact and conclusion of law made by the board and any evidence submitted at the hearing hereon, and to adopt the staff report as a matter of public record.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Merritt.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Brock. Before we vote, this is some individuals that want to build on the property. How long do you think the process is now for them to expect before they can move forward with building?
This item, this is the only public hearing on this item. It's a small-scale map amendment, so we will send this up to the Department of Community Affairs. They have a review period, and there's an appeal period, so you're looking at approximately 60 days, 60 to 90 days. But I know that the applicants are aware of the time periods, and any actions that they take during this time period are at their own risk. But that's the same as with any land use approval.
Very quickly, since this is a small scale, DCA is not allowed to just say no, like we did on a large scale amendment.
Yeah, DCA doesn't really even review these. There's a 30-day window, and the amendment will be effective on day 31 unless it's challenged, and then the regular permitting can begin.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And that completes planning and zoning. And we'll move on to general business. We tabled 19, so do we have anything else?
There are no other general business items.
Okay, and we'll go under Commissioner agenda items. Mr. Moore, you
already did this.
Disposed of this one? Do you have any more? I know. Is any other?
I got a discussion item, but...
Okay, we're going to do citizens to be heard when we're done.
Okay.
So, we've got
Won't take long.
anything, let's go ahead and do Commissioner discussion items. Go ahead.
Ms. Arts, I think.
I'll let you go.
All right. Jessica, can you pull it back? This is, moved pretty quickly, so you kind of caught, huh?
Yeah, surprised. That was my reaction too.
Down, please. I got two items I'd like to talk about. Let me let her get a picture up there. One of the tasks, I guess you'd say I was assigned, was to try to find, there we go, better access to the water. And this is Masha Sands boat ramp right there. And that's the beach. This road right here used to go on through. I mean, your picture's a little better. You can see that this is a nice upland area right here where people used to fish. This was going to be a Shell Point, Masha Sands Phase 2, I guess you'd say. Basically, you can see where they dredge these out canals. But back in here is nice upland area where you can fish in this water right here, except for that. A couple of years ago, that washed out right there with the tide coming across. And I'd like us to look at reopening that road, either simply fill it back in, which it has been for years, or put a culvert in so people can get from here back in here and fish from the shore. Not everybody's got a boat, so it's a great place to throw a cast net. It's county-owned property, it's Masha Sands Park, and it used to be open. I think we could just simply take the boom mower down here and mow this existing road out. We need to fix it right there where it's washed across the road. That tidal canal used to just come in here and swirl around like at a 90-degree angle, but it's now breached the road. It's been doing it over a period of several years. And it's a great spot to go fishing.
County owns all that?
Yes.
Tell me what all the county owns. All this. All that?
All that. Right, Miss Portwood, she's around when they bought it. This is all part of the Masha Sands.
Do we own it or do we oversee it?
Own it. Right, Paul? It's our property, so this is, we could use this land for...
How do we, so what do you suggest?
I already talked to Cleve. I just wanted to let y'all know what I was doing. That I am trying to get better access to water.
So what do you need board direction to proceed to open that road back up?
Cleve, I think first we're going to talk with DEP or whoever and see if we need... We're repairing an existing road, but it may not be best to repair it the way it was. It may be best to put a box culvert there to allow the tide to flow through, but I just talked to Cleve. We want to look at it. If it's simply a matter of repairing the road, take a couple dump trucks out there, dump some shell rock, which is, native, I guess, shell.
So you'll come back to the board later, once you find all this information out and make a motion or some...
If I need to, if we can just fix it, I'll tell you, you can go ahead and go fishing now. If it's just a matter of fixing
if it's a matter of expending money, then you need to come back.
It's just normal maintenance. It's not...
Okay.
I think the road was finally washed in half there during Dennis.
Yeah.
And so it historically has been a road there. I was going to we're going to review, we've actually had some citizens calls in the last couple of years, and it's not a very big spot there to repair.
It's about 10 feet across.
Very good. Okay.
But we'll bring back some to you.
But it's a really nice, I took my kids out every
I like the idea.
Did I see this road with you?
Yeah, we started down there one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
This isn't where the bridge was that you were...
No, I'm sorry. No, that's Skipper Bay Bridge. That's bridge.
Right.
That has been replaced. But I think we looked at this road for one of our tours in that area, and it was about 200 yards off the road there.
Well, here's a boat ramp there. So it's about halfway down. It's washed out. And once you get up in here, these are all pine trees. Be a great camping spot, whatever. But high and dry.
I want to add that in. It's been proposed that we try and do camping out here, like we do over in Newport, where we get a little bit of revenue. This might be another source for a little bit of revenue.
Good for primitive camping, I would think.
But you can
Mr.
charge a little
Cleve,
bit
how
of money
is Skipper Bay?
Stay up there.
Skipper Bay's fine. We've got the box culverts in, and actually got a letter from the Corps of Engineers just recently saying they went in and inspected the project and accepted it, and was pleased with what we've done.
So it's open?
It is open, yes.
Wonderful.
What, may I ask some question? Do you think that there are going to be any, permitting issues or whatever about this? And are we going to
Go ahead.
Well, that's what we've got to check into. Other than some citizens that have been calling in about it, then Commissioner Mary had called in today, and I said, well, we've heard about this, and we'll just start looking at it. But it's, I didn't realize that we looked at it after you called. I didn't realize it was so far back. But it was definitely, the road department has went in there and cut it all the way back through. I believe it, Don Kemp said it was cut in half here in Dennis, and nobody ever,
Same time the Skipper Bay
yeah,
Bridge.
Skipper Bay, yeah, probably the same there at the time.
If it's anything that's going to involve spending money other than maintenance, I'll have to bring it back to you, of course.
Okay, and is there any, like, what's the likelihood that this is just going to keep, that when you do whatever kind of repairs or maintenance you would do, that this is just going to keep washing out? I'm just asking.
We'll look at that. It was definitely open for a long time before.
Many years.
Dennis did this at the same time Skipper Bay Bridge washed away, and somehow we just didn't shuffle. It got never brought up to repair it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. My next item is the impact fee. I have been working on that. Ms. Archie had some, not concerns, but wanted to make sure I
had
appreciate that.
citizens asking me.
Right. What I've done basically is I went back through the impact fee study and recalculated the way impact fee works is here's the cost you're imposing upon taxpayers because you moved here, basically. Minus, here's the additional revenue you generated to use for capital costs, not for ongoing costs, but capital costs. You subtract those two, that's your impact fee. So one thing I worked on is pulling back the present worth values of the 1 cent sales tax that each home pays over the span of 25 years, which you amortize over 25 years because the impact fee study used 27 and a half, I think, and then 37 for commercial.
Yeah, that's the IRS guidelines.
So I went back and got the inflationary rate from 1984 till today, and the average is 4.3, so I used 4.3%. I went back to 09, which is the latest year we have, and figured out exactly how much sales tax did we collect, 1.77 million basically. How many households are there? That gives you a figure, same methodology the impact fee study used. And then I calculated a credit based on what percentage of the sales tax goes towards transportation. For example, 60%. I put 0 for EMS, 5% of it goes to parks, 5% to corrections, 3% to the library, 0 to fire rescue, and 10% to law enforcement. And basically I'll be making a bigger presentation on this, but basically what I came up with so far, not done yet, is transportation impact fee negative $541. In other words, that home, that the percentages of 1 cent sales tax that they bring to the table is more than the transportation impact they bring to the table. And I'll be happy to go over these numbers, of course, in more detail. EMS impact $174.55 to the positive. I mean, they should pay. Parks, $91 they should pay. Corrections is negative, so it ends up being 0. Library is $209 they should pay. Fire rescue is negative when you account for the MSBU that they're going to be paying the next 20-something years. And law enforcement, I came up with $74. And a lot of this, for example, corrections was a huge portion of the impact. It was like $1,600. I went back to the last expansion we did at the jail. It cost X amount of dollars, $2 million. We got 20,000 square feet. That comes out to $91 a square feet. Those are real numbers. The impact fee study before used $240 a square foot. That skewed it way off. And the old impact fee study said we had 160 prisoners. I knew that wasn't right. So I went back and asked Jared, who's in charge of the jail, in 2010, the average number of average daily county prisoners, not people paying to stay there, was 112. That skews it way off. So I'm going back and using realistic numbers that, that are provable, defendable, and So far, I've got $549 as an impact fee. Most of that goes to the library is the biggest share, and the next biggest share is EMS. And I still want to refine my figures as far as what exactly does an ambulance cost. I've been working with Debbie, and I'm talking to Fran about, you know, how many ambulance calls, and, you know, one question I had today, me and Fran were talking was, does every ambulance call have a supervisor and an ambulance like the impact fee study says? No, they don't. Most don't. Most have just the ambulance. So I want to kind of try to address that. So that's where I'm at, and I'll be happy to, if you got any.
Well, no, I appreciate all the work you're doing on that. I guess the only place I'm getting, or I'm confused about how we move forward is we need to have a legally defensible study, which is what we paid for. And so I'm not sure how and that's what the ordinance was based on, and I don't know how we go from your analysis to either revisions to that study or...
certainly don't want to be wasting my time, and the ordinance that we have calls and says it needs to be revisited. I don't think necessarily because we pay somebody to do it makes it any better. I mean, I'd be happy to show everybody what I've come up with. I mean, we may vote. No, I don't like that.
Well, I
think
think
the way it is.
Before it comes back to the board, I guess I want to make sure our expert and our county attorney have looked at it.
I agree. We don't want to be doing something that's a waste of everyone's time. And I don't know what the status is of there's a bill going through the legislature, I guess, about impact fees.
There's one every year.
Well, saying that they want the study to be more defensible or something along those lines.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's an impact fee bill every single year, so
Really?
We'll have to watch that, and who knows what will come of it.
Alan?
And I worry that the semantics of all this will come back to bite us at some point. But the way I'm looking at it right now, Commissioner Arts, is that if Commissioner Merritt comes up with a number that he feels that he could justify, he can explain to us why he's justifying it, we can adjust our current study to get the number we need to do, so that we don't have to use yours as the official study.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of times you'll hear people say, you need to adopt the full impact fee.
Right.
If the full impact fee is $540, let's adopt the full impact fee, fine. But the old study says the full impact fee is $6,000, but that was based on bad assumptions, or, no, I wouldn't say bad, but at the time maybe they were correct. But
right.
realistic, I'd like to adopt whatever I do. If y'all like it, let's amend the study. This is the amended, that is the full justifiable impact fee.
Well, the study that was done by Government Services Group back it was done in '06, based upon the best available information at that time. And I mean, the credits are a big issue, and the fire credit, for example, we'll have to talk about, because the impact fees are taken off of the fire MSBU budget, so we're having double credits now if we go that way, so we'll have to
But Alan and Randy, I think, are saying the same thing. Can we use that as a basis, and anything we adopt less is up to the board? Using that as a basis, just understanding that Randy has done a great deal of work to analyze it, and we'll say it's whatever, $549 or whatever it ends up being. I think that's okay. I think that's what you're trying to say, Alan.
Right, that's what I was trying to say.
Defensible.
I'm trying to go one step above that. I understand what you're saying. It says it should be 6,000. We made it 0. What's the fair number? What should it be?
What I'm saying.
And not leave it at 6. All right, it says it's 6, but we're going to make it this. I want to say, you know what I'm saying?
You want to make the 6 be $549.
Exactly.
Okay, can I ask about the numbers first? Because I don't know where you're getting the 6. I thought the original study said that the total impact was about 8,000. This is for a single residence.
8,000, whatever. My bad.
But that the maximum for the impact fee that would be charged would be about what was it?
I don't remember off the top of my head what
We adjusted the impact fee down.
Right. Okay. Anyway, I didn't know where you were getting the
study
6.
said it should be 8,000. I'm mistaken. I should be saying 8,000. The study said it should be 8. That's the maximum you can adopt, and defendable, I guess, is the.
Said it could be.
It could be, right.
Jerry?
You're working on the residential,
And commercial.
both?
Yes.
So your numbers are for both?
Yeah, but of course, the commercial is done by square footage. I was just giving you an example of the residential only.
I want something that's fair.
Yes.
And whatever that is, I don't know how we get there. Heather, tell us how we do. I don't want to have to pay for another study either. $20,000 or $30,000 for another study when
You don't have to
Merit's
pay
already done the work.
for another study. The benefit of having an outside entity do a study is that if you do end up in litigation, we have an expert witness, as opposed to, we'd now have to rely on, you'd have to be deposed and testify.
Been deposed
So-
before. I'd be happy to. Of course, Heather needs to look at everything I'm doing to make sure it's legal. I'll go over it with Greg and Brent. I used county numbers. We did a Gatsby study many years ago. You guys may not know about it, but it's an inventory of all the paved roads in the county. How much are they worth? What's the right-of-way cost? That's the number we should be using for the road impact fee.
Well, it seems to me we either can try and get our expert to refine or update her study or whatever so that it addresses what you found, or else we rely on that study but just choose percentages that get us what you think is.
As long as that group is willing to do it for free, then I'm more than willing to let them do it.
I don't think they are still doing impact fees at this moment because there's just so little impact fee activity. I think their person who was doing it is no longer there.
Oh, really?
I think
don't know for sure.
I think we can do it. We're Wakulla County people are smart people. I think we can figure it out.
I agree.
Just because we pay somebody to do it doesn't mean it's any better. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And I do want to...
Yeah, if you're in a lawsuit, your credibility as an impact fee expert may not be viewed with the same way as somebody who...
Well, if it came to that, we could always retain another known impact fee expert to come in and validate the study. There's ways to do that.
Okay.
I do want to point out on the road impact fee, just to put it in the record, that the road impact fee you have now is to build an entire new road. I think the cost you're looking at is to pave an existing road. So that's where you're getting your differences.
It's
here.
actually to buy the right-of-way, build a new two-lane road, and the impact fee study was to go from a two-lane road to a four-lane road.
So we are talking different things.
Yes,
it just
that's
depends
right.
on, that doesn't mean the impact fee study is incorrect. It's just you're looking to now recoup costs for a different activity.
I don't want to go too far into this, but the only road that we're conceivably going to be even looking at four-lane is a state road, which is 319. I don't think anybody's looking at four-laning Shadyville Highway at this point. So the study is heavily skewed towards saying we don't have any intention of paying the four-lane 319. It's a state road. People go from Tallahassee to St. George on that road.
But we have to use, with the impact,
I understand.
we use the impact fees for matching funds to help offset what they're doing.
I understand. But that one road should not define what the impact fee for the county is. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
The one cost of that one road. Because there's a bunch of other roads we pave, like Wakulla Aaron Road. Nobody can argue. You remember, before McDonald's was built, it was a dirt road. It was skewed. Nobody can argue that the capacity of that intersection and roads aren't better.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing. It's going to be difficult for me to evaluate without it kind of having already been reviewed by the attorney.
Absolutely. I just wanted, this is just discussion, just to let you know I am working on it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for the update.
Most of it's going to be mathematics, to be honest.
And I'd like for you to continue and take it to the next level till we can get it back in front of us at whatever that number needs to be.
And I'll tell you who I talked to and what numbers they gave me and where they fit in the equations.
Well, I suggest you have that in writing.
It's going to be tricky to explain.
Okay. Any more items for you, Mr. Brock?
I just want to touch on a couple of quick things. I want to echo what Commissioner Art said about, don't forget this upcoming Saturday is the Stop Choppy Worm Grunting Festival. Come out early and have your kids compete in the worm grunting contest in the morning. Next Saturday, April 16th, is Volunteer Wakulla Day. If you're a citizen in Wakulla County looking for a way that you might be able to help volunteer, that's a great way to do it. Go to volunteerwakulla.org to learn more information about Make a Difference Day with Volunteer Wakulla. And also, we have a workshop on Thursday discussing infrastructure in Wakulla Gardens. So if you know people in Wakulla Gardens who have told you they want their road paved, or they want septic or sewers, or they want stormwater, we're having a workshop where we're going to be focused on different aspects of it, but it's going to be good to hear what's being discussed. So to get updated on that, encourage your friends in Wakulla Gardens to come and attend our workshop this Thursday at 5 p.m.
Could I get clarification about that? Because I thought the only thing we were talking about in Wakulla Gardens was sewer, and that the workshop will be sewer plus, in Wakulla Gardens, plus upgrading the plant to, a little bit about it, upgrading to AWT and our whole sewer plan for the county, even though I know I've talked to Cleve and there's more coming later on that. I thought we were looking at that the focus of the workshop is sewer.
It's sewer versus septic tanks. If you live in Wakulla Gardens and you're concerned about the upcoming costs for sewer that may be put on you, you'd want to definitely be there. We also talked about stormwater, and that was going to be discussed there also.
Okay, because I hear different things about what we're talking about, and
they all sort of
I know I've been saying stormwater wasn't going to be on, so.
Okay,
Is anybody talking about stormwater?
It could just be me in my mind.
It's hard to do Wakulla Gardens without stormwater.
We can certainly talk about it. I mean, I know Utah was mostly coming to get direction on how you want the board wants to move forward with the sewer. That's the end whole.
I would ask Leslie Hope then. I know she's working on, I saw a topo map she was working on for Wakulla Gardens. You may want to ask her to be here for whatever stormwater study she's doing.
I don't think we're going to talk about stormwater.
Okay.
What I really want us to get done in this meeting, we should want to get done, is we need to give direction how to proceed with the sewer.
Okay.
And give Cleve and Utah, because they have got to know how to come back and modify that plan. So anyway, I think that's going to take a while.
It was my recollection, and maybe I underestimate, so we'll see how long it goes, that was one of the reasons we had allocated so much time, was we were discussing the different types of infrastructure in the gardens. But you're right, sewer will take a long time. So.
Anything else?
That's all.
Sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to remind y'all that we have a meeting with Mayor Marks on April 7th, and
we or you?
Well, we meaning me and Tim Barton and Heather Attorney, and Joe Glisson probably won't be there, but Jack Leopard will. And then in addition to Mayor Marks, he's going to have the city attorney and some other people. So we're going to be talking about the permit and the trying to push real hard for a commitment to reuse.
Are you taking our attorney with you?
Yes.
That was part of the deal.
Yeah, so anyway, that's Thursday. I'll fill you in afterwards if I come back alive.
Good. Okay. Any other items? All right, we're now for the citizens to be heard, and I hope I don't butcher this name, Michael Regis?
You do that every time.
What is it? Well, you need to write that out. Anyway, it says R-E-J-I-S-H.
No, it says R-E. It's fast handwriting.
You come look.
This is one of our top paramedics.
There you go.
It's just fast.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Register.
What I'm up here for is, as a citizen and as one of your employees, I read something in the paper that infuriated me this past week, and it was a letter to the editor. In there, you were criticized for not doing any investigation and not acting without doing investigations. And I just wanted to clarify that obviously there was no investigation done on the letter to the editor that was written, because had they done any investigation, I asked 17 of the 17 full-time employees at my department, and we have countless part-time employees. None of us were aware that we had a problem. Now, I can't speak for animal control, which is also part of public safety, which wasn't mentioned in there, just EMS and fire, and I can't speak for fire. But I can tell you, in our department, I work with the best group of people I've known in my life, and I've been here for 16 years. And I don't appreciate comments being made about my family without even getting some fact on it first.
Okay. Bob Dancy.
Hello, Commissioners. Thank you for letting me speak. My name is Bob Danzy. I live at Dine Spring View in Spring Creek. What I want to do is take a minute to brag on you for doing what you do and how you do it. Ms. Arts, you are terrific at bringing, I call it the green scene. You know, you give us updates, and we appreciate that. Anything environmental, you're always on top of it. That's wonderful. Commissioner Moore, you've been a real estate broker, a developer, a businessman. You own property here now, and that is very important for our county to have somebody like you represent us. Commissioner Stewart, and I said Miss Arts a minute ago, I just realized I'm sorry, it's Commissioner Arts, so I want to apologize for that. Commissioner Stewart, you spend time at the school, you've been work there, take time up with kids, been in the military 30-something years, I've heard you say, maybe 34, 35 years. Those are things, three-term commissioner, those are things to be proud of, the experience, and that we should appreciate, and I do appreciate, as well as the people out there I feel confident appreciate. Commissioner Brock, you bring a middle-of-the-road approach that I think is very necessary for this board, because a lot of people have directions that they'd like to go. You bring common sense solutions, always in a way that almost nobody disagrees with you. You're just right there, right where we got to have somebody. And Commissioner Merritt, such as what you did a little while ago, explaining how you work the issues out with those numbers. You engineer. You have worked with the county. Probably know more about what's under the ground around here than what most people know about what's on top of the ground around here. So what I'm trying to say is it's tremendously balanced board, but yet you've been criticized. And I took offense to it, as well as a lot of other people. You were criticized, and actually by former Commissioner Kessler. He said that he was going to hold you all accountable. Now, the things he said he was going to hold you accountable for were things that happened while he was a part of this board. And that doesn't really make any sense to me. I don't think we could ask for anybody any better, any more diversified. But I would say those people that are going to be off on Fridays, if you want to talk about accountability, the approximately $500,000 that was spent on lawsuits under his watch, that's accountability. That's real money. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Tim Hafley.
Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity. I wanted to speak briefly on the horrible tragedy that we all heard about that happened over in Wakulla Station. Some of my closest friends that were killed and injured in the murderous act, and we had reserved the Hudson Park for the Saturday to the April 9th to try to organize a fundraiser for Miss Gabrielle McKenzie. As you may know, she doesn't have any local family, and she's now alone, not alone, but she has no immediate family. Her father was her only closest relative. So some of her family and friends, some of her closest friends are all coming together, and we're trying to raise as much money as we possibly can. We have so many businesses that have already committed, and we're looking for as many more as we can. We've got auction planned. We have some live band planned. We have some raffles and many different things. Some vendors, some food vendors. My reason for being here is I'd like to find out if the commission would give us this without the usual fee. Would give us this part for this purpose without the usual fee, so that we could take care of this fundraiser.
Okay. Make a motion, Mr. Brock.
I move to waive the fee for the fundraiser for the McKenzie family.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Just done.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to announce the time on Saturday?
We intend to begin at 10 a.m. and it shouldn't go past around 4. It'll give plenty of time for the people in the community to come and browse around, and we'll have lots of baked goods. We'll have, like I said, an auction. We'll have a band. We've got lots of different auction items that have already been donated. So if anyone needs to, we've reached out to the local news media as well, but we have a website, helpgabrielle.com, if anyone would like to contact us and contribute or help with the event. So,
very good.
Thank you very much.
I know she appreciates your concern, and we thank you for bringing it forward.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
County Attorney, any items? Anything else, Mr. Administrator?
Nope, none for me, sir.
Okay. No more issues by the commissioners?
Motion to adjourn.
So moved, second, and we're adjourned. Thank y'all. Hey. We're cruising. Like 6 o'clock now. We're good. I knew that P&Z out would take a while. I hate to jump in on